What's going on, everyone? So unfortunately, the sound isn't going to be too good. I have to take this computer. I think there's some sort of issue with it. However, what I want you to focus on is the content. It's not necessarily the sound. The sound may not be perfect, but what matters most is that the content of the video holds up. So what I'm going to be discussing today is 10 rare things that can instantly improve your life. Okay, so of course I can make another video. It's going to be, oh, meditate left and journal, bro. Give gratitude, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with those things. I'm not actually putting them down in the way that I'm mocking them. I'm just saying that it's very common knowledge. I'm trying to do something that is rare. So number one, and it's probably going to be like 50, 60, but I just use 10 because it's a nice round number. You guys are going to get a lot of value here. So number one is understand your own baseline. So what is your IQ? If your IQ is low, and especially lower, then you're going to have an excellent principled game plan as far as you need to be punctual, you need to work hard, and you need to shut your fucking mouth and listen to high IQ individuals that obviously have their shit together. Because guess what, buddy? If you're low IQ, yeah, you got dealt a bad hand, but if you listen to someone who is going to point you in the right direction, trust me, as long as you do the small things well, you will go so far. You would not believe how many high IQ individuals are just horrendous people when it comes to corralling them and trying to get them to cooperate. Whereas if you are slow and steady, you would be surprised at how fucking happy high level individuals are to have you in your life. And of course, if you're higher IQ, then you have a higher potential, and you have more leeway to mess around, but you don't want to use that as a crutch. So what is your motivation level? And I would also add to that is what is your energy level? So for example, you might have a high motivation level when you start out something and look to past activities. So we'll add those as well. Energy level, past activities. So look at your past activities. Do you start at like a 12 out of 10 and then you move to an 8 and then you move to a 6 and then you're at a 1 like 6 months later? Understand yourself. That's the most important thing, is know thyself. That's one of the oldest axioms. So, and as far as your energy level, like for me, when I'm motivated, and it's like I am always motivated, but I can go through extreme bouts of depression if things don't go my way. So I need to control myself and my expectations. But yeah, like my energy is like literally a 12 out of 10. It doesn't really matter who you are. The way that I'm speaking so quickly, it's just how I speak. I'm not trying to slow myself down because the brain can understand words extremely quickly. And if it can't, then I don't know, play it at 0.75. Sorry, I'm not fucking making the video for people that think slowly. I'm making this for high level individuals that want to get better. So what is your money goal? We need about $70,000 to be happy. Of course, you are happier the more money you make, but it's along a marginal utility curve. If you have to kill yourself for $75,000, then it's probably not the best idea. Meanwhile, if you can make $69,699, I mean, how can you say no to $69.69? But why would you say? And let's just say you were able to make that 5 hours a week, as opposed to 40 hours for $70,000. Well, then it's pretty obvious what you do, right? So you have to understand that. Look, money isn't everything. It does help you, but don't kill yourself, kill your relationships, and kill things you love in life. For example, if you really love fitness, if you love tennis, if you love golf, but you're working 80 hours a week and you've made millions, and like, what are you going to do with more millions? You just want to, look, I'm not even saying you stop making money, but if you're like working 50, 60, 70 hours a week and you're missing out on life, what's it all for? At the end of the day, we all go in the fucking box. We all die. So what are you going to do? You're going to waste your life making money? Oh, well, great. And a lot of these friggin' morons, see, I caught myself. I didn't swear there. A lot of these morons are just, they work, and then they penny pinch. It's like, listen, I honestly can understand if you work, and then you spend to have an amazing life. But some of them work, they don't do what they love, and then they penny pinch. It's like, they're just absolutely brain dead. As Ty Lopez says, they minor in major things and they major in minor things. So you could say that working, because making lots of money, that's so important. Well, there's many ways to be rich, and one of them is being time rich, and a lot of people are not. So 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and lifetime. So the 4M, so money, motivation, mastery, and momentum. Excuse me, I had to get a little sip of water there. So mastery and momentum are a little bit different, because Michael Jordan in the prime of his career had no momentum. Whereas me and you, we would have immense amounts of momentum if we started playing basketball. However, Michael Jordan would obviously absolutely destroy us because he's Michael Jordan. He has reached a high level of mastery. So that's the difference. Mating also includes friends. Now, I would rank those in terms of importance out of 10. So like what's a 7, what's an 8, what's a 9. For some of us, for me, mastery is a 10. And I would also use 100. So allocate 100 points and spread them out. So for me, mastery probably like 70 or 80. It's really important for me to be a master. But in the future, I definitely want to have rich relationships. It's just Right now, mastery and momentum are the most important things, but I just know that mating, I personally, I look extremely young. I get mistaken for roughly 20% less than I actually am in terms of age, and it's absolutely huge at the age that I'm at. But I take very good care of myself, so it's not as if I'm just after mastery at the cost of anything. I'm after mastery along fitness, and I take great care of myself. So, but perhaps if you're aging a little bit faster, then maybe you want to invest a little bit more in finding a good mate, so that you use your looks when they're at their highest level. So yeah, use 100 points a little. It's a little bit different than the 10 because, so for example, you might say mastery is a 10, momentum's a 10, mating's an 8, and money is an 8, but you can't do that when you have the 100. So it's a little bit of a different way of thinking about it. It forces you to think about things in a strategic manner. So what did you want to do at age 14? That's when your IQ peaks. What have other people told you you're good at? And what are your top 3 strengths? Do a SWOT analysis. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So for me, opportunities, I personally love to listen to music. I can listen to 8 or 10 or 12 hours a day. I love to speak, even though I don't necessarily use it. I really don't use it actually at all. In this video, it's probably the only time. And yeah, so those are 2 things that I'm not currently using, but they are an opportunity in the future. Threats, I can be extremely rude. I can also be extremely arrogant. So I have to watch myself that I don't exaggerate my actual accomplishments, which there are many, and I am a highly accomplished individual, at least relative to my own standards, although I could always be better. But I have to make sure I'm not fibbing, because people, even if I tell them my accomplishments, people say that's arrogant enough. So I should literally just, I should honestly tell them less. They'll still say that's arrogant. As far as another threat, I need to watch myself that I'm not overly harsh with people, because bluntness is actually a good thing. Telling people the truth is a good thing, but I just need to temper it. I need to make sure that I'm a little bit softer, because I can be extremely rude, but simultaneously there's some people that can take it. So I have to just like push to that edge and find out where they're at, and then maybe either pull back or some people I'll tell them, listen, you're a fucking pussy. You're not fucking living up to your potential. It's fucking pathetic. And the reason I'm telling you this is because it's an old Japanese saying, you should worry when your boss stops yelling at you as opposed to when he's yelling at you, because that means he's giving up, and I'm not giving up on you and your excellent potential. Some people can take that. Other people I have to be like, listen, I just think you're not living up to your potential right now, and you're doing yourself a disservice. So with them, I take a little bit more of a cool, calm, and collected approach. So pest analysis. Political, economic, social, and technological. You can take that however you want. I just thought it was an interesting one to throw in there. You can say, what are my own politics? Are my own politics holding me back? What are my own economics, and what are my economic views as far as how do I even view capital? How do I view money? There's some people that have an extremely negative outlook towards money, and perhaps they're somehow involved in entrepreneurship, but they really dislike money for some reason. And the way that I look at money is it's just an exchange of value. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. I would quote Francisco D'Anconia, I believe, from Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged book, which is an excellent. You can look up his money speech. In my opinion, it's excellent. Social. Again, you can take that however you want. Are you in the right country? Are you in the right city? Are you in the right environment? Technological. Are you using technology extremely well? For example, do you know how to screenshot on your phone? This is something that's actually very interesting from Ty Lopez. It's very underrated. Like, it's something that I picked up. He asked, like, do you know how to do these functions on a computer? And I know how to do quite a few functions on a computer, but there was quite a few that I didn't, and I actually had to look them up. And one thing you could do with this sort of analysis, specifically technological, is you just start Googling things. You'd be surprised how little of us Google things. When we have a problem, we're just like, oh, I can't figure it out. And it does make sense, because for the majority of human history, it was probably better that we had that attitude, in the sense that we literally couldn't figure it out. And if we couldn't figure something out, it's good for us not to waste our energy on it. VRIN, so valuable, rare, imperfectly imitable, and non-substitutable. You can take that however you want. You can use it on yourself. You can ask yourself, what are things like that? You can take these questions however you want, but an extremely important thing is that you know yourself. That's by far one of the most important things you can do. And so yes, that's number 1. Number 2 is enjoy small things which tap into high ROI and excellent marginal utility curve. So for example, free book summaries. Literally nothing stops you. Go to sivers.org and just start reading. You're literally getting the 80-20 on the 80-20. Like, books are a fucking summary, and this guy does a summary of a summary, and he does excellent notes. And that's just like, it's like literally one of the highest ROIs out there. So yeah, you can Google book summaries, you can YouTube book summaries, and you can find all sorts of things. Even like if you don't find a book summary, here's one thing you can do. YouTube the author's name, and oftentimes you'll find a speech, and those speeches will have a lot of adjacent subject matter. So shower phone sleeves, so that you can record good ideas in the shower. That's where a lot of our best ideas come from. Air fresheners and incense. These things are so cheap. but we should enjoy good smells. Why not? Like, why would you have a neutral smell when you can have a good smell? Bracelets and relatively cheap watches. So one thing you guys can look into, this is like mega fucking high secret, is fake Rolexes. Fake Rolexes are basically 85 to 95% of what a real Rolex is. Most of them are 95%. You just have to do a little bit of research and get the ones that are like $400, $500, $600. So you're still investing a good amount of money, but you're getting the prestige and respect coming from a Rolex from $400 to $500. So the marginal utility curve on that is basically insane, because if you actually look them up, you'll see the people, the watchmakers and the watch aficionados, they're saying, yeah, we can't tell them apart. Yeah, of course, if we take them apart and, we look at them for 5, 10 minutes, but like, at a pass, at a glance, you're just going to get the respect. So yeah, cheap fitted clothes with nice colors. So go to thrift stores as well. Good coffee places where you can network. So here's a challenge. Instead of saying, well, how do I save $1,200 from coffee? Because in 200 years, it's going to be like a $400,000. Why don't you just challenge yourself and say, I'm going to invest $1,000 worth of coffee this year. Let's try and build $1,000 worth of relational capital. So when you go to a coffee place, speak with people. Just compliment people. You don't even have to like make it some sort of like business thing. Like, oh, can I analyze your business and make you money? Just compliment people. Ask them what they do. Take an interest in them. That's all. Just be relaxed. Have a cool vibe. So download good music via YouTube to MP3. That's a good one. So Google questions for half an hour a day. Do you not have half an hour that you fucking blow? All right. So literally sit down, write questions. Whatever it is about the world, whatever you're curious about. Why does a car work this way? Why are buildings so tall? Why do the trees grow the way they do? Why are couches this color? Why are walls painted this color as opposed to that color? Just start googling things. How do I how do I fix my watch? How do I cook this? How do I cook that? So understand concepts. I'm going to give you a bunch of powerful concepts. I obviously can't go through all of them. These are some of the most powerful ones. I'll go through them a little bit. So I'll just give like one or two ideas with them because it's just going to take forever. So the 80-20 principle. So small levers have big effects. 80-20 principle is literally the universe in motion. So that's probably one of the most powerful. You can go to Richard Koch's blog and read more. Principles in General by Ray Dalio. You need to have a good foundation of how you view the world, and you always need to be upgrading them. And basically, you just need to always be asking yourself, what is the truth, and how do I calibrate towards it, and how do I use the truth in terms of calibration to achieve my goals. So cognitive biases, we are all prone to these, and no matter what we do. So Seeking Wisdom by Peter Bevelin, Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, and Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. But watch and learn these things. Okay, don't just watch it once. So like social proof, liking, consistency, authority, commitment, scarcity. Those are all huge. Scalability. So like, I'll give you one. If you are meeting a high level individual, you always spend as much time as you possibly can with this individual. You shut your mouth and you listen. If they want to spend 3 hours with you, you don't go, oh, well, I gotta go to the store. I gotta go to the store. Can you not go to the fucking store later? Are you so stupid you're gonna pass up this opportunity? This individual might never talk to you again. They might get busy for 2, 3 months. The scalability of talking to this individual is so insanely high. Just always ask yourself that, and actually always calibrate, understand levels of people. If somebody's higher than you, you spend as much time as you possibly can. I don't care what it takes. Of course, it's within reason. If your mother's dying from cancer, I'm not saying you forego that. That's an important relationship. But if it's like your buddy you've known since second grade wants to do something, you just tell him to wait. He's going to be okay. Trust me. This CEO you're with, he might never call you back again. So always ask yourself, what is the scalability of the situation? Minimal viable product. So what is, like with this video, I was stressing out, how do I make it? Like, oh, is it going to have enough good content? Oh, are people going to take this away? Oh, how do I add enough quotes? Blah, 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 blah. And eventually I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to fucking screenshot it. I want to get this video done. It's highly important for me. So I just said, you know what? This video is going to have so much excellent content. It's going to have so much excellent ideas. I don't need to make it perfect. This is just the first go through, and this can be re-leveraged in a variety of ways. I'll probably have to redo it because I am a perfectionist, and honestly, I got to be honest, guys. It's really bothering me that I'm not able to go so deep into each of these concepts. It's kind of bothering me that I'm leaving you out on your own. But at the end of the day, hey, listen, you get what things are, and this is a free video, so I'm not going to kill myself over a free video. Perhaps in a different light, I would kill myself if this was paid. But yeah, just understand these concepts, look them up. You can go very deep with all these concepts. These are excellent concepts for you. So minimal. So 30 minutes a day on Instagram, commenting on hashtags. So using hashtags as searches. So for example, most people use Instagram, let's say 1 or 2 hours. But why don't you just look up hashtags of books and authors and comment on them, comment with like-minded people. You'll meet so many interesting people like that. So realizing what can be re-leveraged. For example, on my own Instagram, I go hard in the paint, and it's not so much that I'm like, like, ooh, like I'm going hard in the paint. Like for me, I just kind of view it as like as a resume. Of course, the majority of people might say it's an insane thing what I'm doing. However, personally, I know that the right people, when they view that sort of thing, they're going to be blown away. So that's just re-leveraging. That you also have dormant resources that perhaps you've saved in the past. For me, it's pictures, audiobooks, that sort of thing that can be re-leveraged. You can use them as gifts even. You can you can just ask. You can go through your phone book and say and go through things you have saved, dormant things, and say which of my friends would find use from these. Maybe perhaps it's a playlist of music, songs that they might enjoy. Perhaps it's pictures. Whatever it is, just ask yourself what can you re-leverage. So taking your time, it's just important that you're patient and you allow yourself to progress daily, working on, not in your ventures. It's just so important. For example, the person who just goes to the gym 5, 6 times a week is then gets okay results. Is going to get destroyed by someone who goes 2 to 3 times a week. Actually, Dorian Yates was an excellent example of this because he understood the best principles and he applied the best principles and he worked on his activity as opposed to in it all the time. He maybe trained 2, 3 hours a week and he crushed guys that were trained 2, 3 hours a day. So he worked on his activity, not in it. Joint ventures, always ask yourself, how can you leverage? So basically, there's two things. So you can either have an audience or you can have a product. And if somebody has one of those but not the other, then you can bring them the other one. And what you can do is you can either bring them the other one or you can even put people together in contact. You can say, this guy has an excellent product, but he's only got 100 followers. Why don't I put him in contact with this guy with 100,000 followers and then take a percentage on that? So look up the book Luck by Robert Wiseman or Richard Wiseman. So basically, it's just having a positive mindset, always looking for the bright side on things, and just staying positive. And that might sound really cliche, and that's what I thought for a while. It was extremely cliche. I had a very, I wouldn't really say negative, but I would just say like I would pride myself. I'm like, oh, I'm hyper realist because like I can like look at negative things as opposed to like before that I was like very positive. Now I just kind of like I just try to be even keel, but I always try to look on the bright side of things. I always say how is this a good thing? What's happened? And you know what? You always find silver lining. That's a part of luck. Also being open to new opportunities. When somebody, for example, I recently had somebody that's a high level individual say, hey, you should come to Italy, and he said it like jokingly, but I basically told him, okay, when do you want me to pack? And if he said tomorrow, I would have gotten the ticket and I would have gone there because it was an excellent opportunity. Scalability, I mean, is insane. But even, you know what, honestly, the scalability of the situation actually wasn't that insane. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't that insane. He is a high level individual, but business wise, I'm just not sure that we could do so much with his current situation. And I don't know how keen he would be even for that sort of thing. I think he's just like really happy just to live life. But I would have a lot of cool experiences with this individual. So I would have went regardless. So, and that's part of like, the luck and the Wiseman thing. You can have that sort of negative mindset. Look, I go there and nothing really happens business wise, which is honestly probably what would happen. I'd be like, what a fucking waste of time this guy was. He told me to come on and nothing happened. Or I could just look at it as a positive experience, something that I can re-leverage. At the end of the day, all we have in life is our body, our mind, and our stories. So our mind, you can say, encompasses our knowledge, but the stories that we have, like, of course, people can always doubt your stories, but these are negative individuals. And if you have somebody that's constantly doubting all your stories, you don't want them in your life. That's actually an excellent thing. They're doubting your stories. Again, this goes back to the positive mindset. If I have somebody that's constantly doubting my stories, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I can just completely cut you out, you fucking piece of shit. I want nothing to do with you. So yeah, you only need to get lucky once concept. So with richness, money, and friends, of course, you need to maintain these things. I'm not saying you get good friends and you treat them like trash, or you get an excellent wife and you start being the shit at her because like you got lucky one time or something. But same thing with richness. Of course, you can blow your money, but at the end of the day, maintaining something is much easier than building it. So yeah, always use a fivefold why. Just keep asking yourself why. That's what kids do, and that's what makes kids so special. And when we get that beaten out of us, it's like it's because of fucking loser parents. People that are fucking human trash. They, like because like I have a niece and nephew, and they always ask me why this, why that, and I always oblige them. And sometimes I give them silly answers because I think they ask me a little bit of a silly question they know the answer to. So I play back with them instead of saying, "Oh, that's a dumb question. That's a dumb question." They might ask me, I don't know. I can't really think of an example. I don't know. Maybe they don't believe in Santa Claus, and they might say something to the effect of like, "Yeah, Santa Claus is real." I'll say, "Yeah, Superman's realer though. Superman killed Santa Claus because Santa Claus is a little bitch. Fuck Santa Claus." So just playing with that, taking it, agreeing and amplifying, So Tesla's 369. So the universe is made up of 369. So you can always look for modalities in this sense. So like best case scenario, average case scenario, and got this worst case scenario. So think like that: fast, medium, slow. 80-20, 1%, 10x. So like 80-20 principle. So small levers, big effect. 1% very, 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 very slight improvements, and 10x with 10x improvements. So 10x result, how would you do it? 10x the budget, how would you apply it? 100 times less your budget, how would you do it? Excuse me. So below your level, at your level, above your level, this was a law of 33%. I don't know if it's Ty Lopez. I think he got that from someone else. So Josh Kaufman, MBA, definitely read that book. Relational value. So like one thing. So for example, I give a lot of gifts to people, and that's actually going to be a principle that I speak on later on, because this creates a lot of relational value. So for example, if I, let's say one day want to be the president of this country, which is a possibility. I mean, I've gone back and forth. Like now I'm probably like leaning towards not, but in some ways that's more so because I have a little bit of a negative mindset towards certain things right now. I mean, that can change once things go a little bit better. So we'll see what my mood is. But for example, I might give gifts, and like, like some people might be like, oh, you're spending $60-$70 on gifts, ha ha ha. But it's like, okay, what if I want to become the president and this person goes up and he says, I'm supposed to be asking a question, but I just want to talk about the time that this individual gave me a gift. And that, people can always say, yeah, of course, he made that up. But, when there's 20, 30 people and, they all come from different walks of life because you're generally a charitable person, then, and, here's the other thing too, is like, okay, fine, I'm lying about that. That's what I would say. Like if somebody said I was lying about that, I'd be like, fine, I'm lying about that. But you know what? Give gifts to the people in your life that do good. I'll tell you that. That is a good principle. So yeah, you're right. I'm lying. You got me. You got me. I'm lying. But you know what? Make the world a better place. Take my lie then and apply it well. So yeah, that's relational capital, relational value. So lifetime value. Substitute it. This was for like, I'm not going to read it. It was for Valentine's Day. Invert it, combine it, exaggerate it, eliminate it, reorder it. Simply watch my vids. So watch the vids that I have here, and I'm going to link my other YouTube channel. So watch them. So it's fun fact. There's probably 6 hours total, and if you watch them at 2x speed, that's 3 hours. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I think in those 3 hours, I could probably create more value than most people have had created in their entire lives. So figure out what not to do. So list your nightmare scenarios in 10, 30, 50 years, and then ask who is around you. When does it go wrong? Why does it go wrong? What goes wrong? Where does it go wrong? And then you can actually combine the 5 W's for maximum mental gains. So for example, who is around you? When? Why? What goes wrong? Why? Where? So instead of using your phone to Instagram, use your computer, more comments and likes, but forget likes, which don't really mean shit. Comments and heartfelt ones are how you make amazing connections. So if you want to make amazing connections with people, just use your Instagram and search hashtags for things like authors, books, quotes, and yeah, you'll find like-minded individuals. And at the end of the day, perhaps nothing really comes. But you know what? Honestly, if you put 30 minutes every single day, I'm honestly 1,000% guaranteeing you. I'm 1,000% guarantee if you spend a year doing that, you'll probably find someone that you can consider a good friend that, as long as you're growing as a person. Because here's the thing: is if you're a fucking mediocre person, you do this, you don't work on your fitness, you don't work on improving your knowledge, and you're just a shitty person that applies this one principle. I mean, yeah, your life will be better, but if you're an amazing person, and personally, I have used Instagram to meet some very amazing people. I've even met some of them, a small number of them. I'm hoping to meet more in the future. Big shout outs to those that are going to watch this video. And yeah, so number 4 is give. So gifts, old things that you don't need, but are actually really nice. So for example, I have 2 pairs of Ray-Bans that I'm going to be giving away as a present to somebody that I so choose, because they just sit around and collect dust. They're useless to me. I don't like them on my face because my face is a little bit narrower, specifically because I'm low body fat. And yeah, so I'm going to be giving them away. But some people would never even think about that. They would just have a bunch of nice things, like a bunch of Ray-Bans sitting around collecting dust. And okay, maybe, it doesn't go anywhere, but guess what? It's better that thing has an actual use than it collects dust in my house. It has no purpose there. So budget at least $20 a month towards gifts and spend it every month. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not even going to say $20. We're moving this up. $20 is pathetic, okay? Unless you live in like a third world country, in which case I can understand. But yeah, like the majority of you guys are going to be living in the West. So 50 at least, and probably 100. And just spend it. Why don't you just do it? You know what? Do it for a year and tell me what happens, okay? Tell me if at the end of the year, let's just say you spend 100. Let's say, you really go balls to the wall. or vagina to the wall, whatever you want to call it, tell me that you don't actually get something out of it. Basically, here's the proposition. Can your presence create $1,200 of lifetime value? And see what happens. I'm honestly, I'm willing to bet basically any amount of money that lifetime they'll create $1,200 worth of value. Maybe not in the original year, but lifetime. Uh, some people are going to be so blown away, so taken back that in the future, maybe you're in a really bad spot and you go to them for money and you explain, and you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, you don't even fucking ask me. You tell me how much you need and I will give it to you. And they might give you $2,000-$3,000 based on a $1,500 gift. So yeah, even if it's just giving it to bums, charity is necessary. And yes, some of those bums, like for example, there was a bum today, and this goes back to the Wiseman thing. Actually, this is kind of blowing my mind here that this just happened. But he has a bottle of alcohol literally beside him. But you know what? I gave him money. But you know what I didn't think about? That the other day I saw him with a book. Okay, now I could, in my mind, chosen to have folks on, oh, he's drinking alcohol. Of course he's drinking alcohol. His life is pretty fucking shit. You know, I'm not gonna judge him. Who knows what happened? Maybe he was molested as a child. Maybe, you know, maybe he had like horrendous things happen all his life. Maybe he's been beaten down. Maybe nobody saw any potential in him, and he was continually spat on. So you know, I'm not going to judge him in that moment. What I am going to focus on is the fact that he does read. So he does have a glimmer of hope still left in him, and I wish him all the best. So compliments. So shoot for at least 10 a month. If you can't manage 10, you're not trying hard enough, plain and simple. Value. Ask yourself how you can help people and do just that. So just simply just ask people, if, you know, obviously you have to have some sort of skill set. You can't just be a shit person to ask, but yeah, just ask people like, how can I help you? And don't expect anything in return. Just give without expecting. So thank your friends, thank your family, thank your strangers, thank people, and just write thank you notes. Simple enough. How many people do this? Obviously, you know, they have to be high quality individuals. Don't just thank random people. Make it a sincere thanks, and the compliments again. Make them sincere compliments. I'll give you a sincere compliment that I gave. So I saw a girl running in the street, and she honestly really had an excellent stride. I was actually, I was a little bit. I mean, I'm not like blown like, wow, oh my god, my life has changed. No, I'm not like that, guys. But I did. I was like, she had her head up, she had like a nice stride, and then I seen her at the store, and I just told her, "You run very well." And it's not like, you know, it's not like I was expecting her to be like, "Oh, okay, you know, let's get married, you know, let me come up to your apartment and suck you off." Like I wasn't expecting that. I just wanted to tell her she had a nice stride, and that was all. She smiled, said thank you, and that's it. Maybe I'll see her again, maybe not. Who knows? I guess we'll see. So improve your skill set. Have a skill set mindset. Don't worry about your immediate results. Worry about increasing your long-term ROI to the point where you can be nearly 100% certain of long-term success due to the base you'll create. And this is something that I learned in poker is that so you can see how things interact and adjacent skill sets can come together. So in poker, basically, if you have an excellent win rate, it's inevitable that you're going to win tournaments and you're going to crush big time. So Robert Greene, mastery and power is not an intellectual pursuit. It's not a question of learning a lot of things from books. It's actually an emotional quality. The fact that you're disciplined, patient, persistent, that you love what you're doing, that you can put up with criticism, that you're tough, that these are all emotional qualities that Steve Jobs or Thomas Edison or whoever you want to look at had. Your most creative years are your 30s, or maybe the first half of your 40s. If you're younger, you really want to be keeping that in mind. You want to be focused and use your 20s as a period for learning and accumulating skills. So when you hit your 30s and your mind is still active, you still have lots of energy, you can now take all those things you learn and do something really exciting. So although it's never too late, it's really better to start early. Strategy of preeminence. So as I said, all it takes is one relationship to go 10x, and I will read you a J. Abraham quote. I have a very simple philosophy on life. You shouldn't steal from yourself. If you're going to commit your life to an enterprise, wealth creation, the security and the financial well-being of your family, and if other people, your staff, your team, your employees, your vendors, you are going to commit to their lives, are going to commit their lives to you, you owe it to yourself and everyone else to get the highest and best results. You should never accept a fraction of the yield when the results, when with the same effort or less, the same people or fewer, the same time or less, the same capital or less, the same opportunity cost or less, can deliver so much more to you currently and perpetually. So basically the idea is you should always be striving to be basically just try to be a lifetime advisor. That's the strategy of preeminence, and that's like this whole mindset. You just have to be quality. Always ask yourself how you can give, how you can help people, and just expect nothing in return. And honestly, most of the time you're not going to get nothing. Actually, most of the time I think most people will get a little bit more than nothing. I just think just due to my personality type, for whatever reason, I give, but I don't really get much in return. And listen, I'm 100% open to getting. So yeah, but it's just the way that things work out. But you know what? I'm just going to keep going because at the end of the day, I realize you only need to get lucky one time. So mentorship, so law of 33%. So 33% below, 33% at, and 33% above. And if you can't find a mentor, just use books and videos, or use 8. So 7, it's the 7 levers of business. So traffic, opt-ins, conversions, average sales price, transactions per customer, items per sale, and price. So if you can increase those by 10%, that's a lot. A lot of people just focus on price and customers, but there's a lot of different things you can do. Just look up the 7 levers per Nerdcast and you'll be good to go. So saving money is a waste of time. All right, it's not a waste of time, guys. I just wanted to catch your attention because it really is so overrated, and I need some of you guys to snap out of it. So saving an extra 1K a month by denying yourself things like food, coffee, and movies and everything else, why don't you instead of that, look, if you're going to save that money and invest in courses or, for example, book summary websites, that's one thing if you don't have the money. But it's another thing if you have, like, let's say $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 you're spending on learning, and you just like to spend a little bit on relaxation as well. Those things are totally fine. Instead, just improve your skill set. So pay for people's time. Okay, that's what you can do. So coaching, buying dinners, just basically leveraging the fact that most people that are highly talented, they might not want to meet with you, but when they see that you're a committed individual, then perhaps, and you're willing to pay for their time, then perhaps they'll spend more time with you. And actually, most of the time, I've had students before, people that have paid for my time, and almost always, I've gone above and beyond afterwards. If they have any sort of needs, I always try to accommodate them. And even I had a guy who I recently paid roughly 200 USD for half an hour's time. And I'll be honest, I wasn't all that impressed with my half an hour. Not in the sense that, like, I looked at it negatively, because I did find a way to keep it positive. I said, you know what? Basically, all he told me was to keep doing what I'm doing. And maybe I just didn't have the right questions to ask him. So, but it's worth it to know, keep doing what you're doing. You're killing it. You're doing well. This individual was a high level individual, and honestly, I wasn't really disappointed, but I just I guess I just wanted to be a little bit more. Maybe it's my own stupid standards, insanely high standards. However, afterwards, first of all, this guy's an excellent guy, and I definitely wasn't disappointed with it. I'm just saying, like $200, come on, guys, it's kind of a lot, right? But no, regardless, I would absolutely say it was worth it. So it's almost, I don't think, I've never personally heard of it not being worth it. So you would have to be a total moron and just do zero research. So learn how to communicate effectively. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Ask questions about goals. So just keep asking questions about people. Ask about goals, ask about motivations, ask about the person's why. Be curious, ask their opinion. Also learn sales, which is a form of communication. So coaching habits, spin selling to sell as human, 8 habits of highly effective people. So the kickstart question, what is on your mind? 2, the all question, and what else? 3, the focus question, what's the real challenge here for you? 4, the foundation question, what do you want? 5, the latest question, how can I help? 6, strategic question, if you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? And 10, move. If your life is shit, just move to a new city, move to a new country, move to a new place, and you can be whoever you are because nobody knows you there. So you can literally, I've moved where I've completely flipped my life around, and I probably could have made, I know I could have made those same changes in the place that I was, but would I have? I honestly, I think I probably would have made most of them, and I think would have came at a slower rate. But here, it was just like, it lit a fire under my ass because I was like, man, nobody even knows me. Yes, I am fat when I'm getting here, but people are just like, oh, there's a fat guy. Like, they don't think anything of how I got to that point. So for me, like, and when I started losing, like, people were like really shocked and awe. But whereas, like, in the old place, I felt like if I lost it, people were like, okay, so you got back to where you were, you fucking idiot. So good job on getting the weight and losing it, moron. So there's, yeah. You are not bogged down in routine, and there's no sunk cost fallacy. So, I mean, obviously, sunk cost fallacy exists, but you have no sunk cost. You can always change your life. In theory, nothing stops you from completely turning your life around right here, right now. I just want to make sure that this is recording. Okay, it is recording. And so number 11 is time together. So, some people, I just want to say, fuck off with this, this is too much. Just don't fucking apply it all then. Sorry, I want to be thorough and give people actionable items. So, all right, I don't know if there's going to be that many people, but just don't worry about everything 100% and getting it quote unquote all right. The metric you have to use is life improvement, not are you fucking Richard Branson or are you a billionaire after watching this video. Think back to where you were before watching this video or where you are now and where you're going to be if you keep it up. So like think about what can happen if you apply these things. Literally, if it's overwhelming, just pick one action item, one of these 10 rare things, and do that. And that's all there is to it. So it's likely that even if you have hit a plateau, you have not totally plateaued. You're still likely learning. You're still likely going to the gym. You're still likely doing small business iterations. So just keep applying this stuff. In the long run, you will absolutely be a king. And yeah, you guys are good to go. So yeah, those are all 10. I'm just going to give a slow scroll so that you guys can pause the video at any point. And I would definitely suggest taking screenshots. Screenshots are a highly valuable thing. It's something that I use myself. And yeah, learn the functions of your life, have a skill set mindset, seek to master things, be preeminent in everything that you do, seek to become a lifetime advisor. Every single relationship I enter, I'm not looking for a one-night stand. I always ask myself, how can I be this person's everything? Not necessarily everything, but that's honestly my goal. If I can have a lifetime friend where we help each other out, symbiotic relationship, it's never going to be one-to-one. And that's the thing is like for example, there's relationships where I'm the highest level individual, and I don't mind spending more money on the individual. I don't care as long as they're getting the fundamentals right. They're listening to me. They're treating me well. They're engaging in conversation. They're asking me out. I'm asking them out. It's all good. I don't mind spending a little bit more. Simultaneously, there's relationships where the other individual has just so much more money than me and so much more power. And they don't mind spending more because they know I'm a good individual and they know that I would give them the fucking coat off my back if I absolutely had to. I would absolutely go out of my way to help out my bro. I can't spend as much money as they spend on me, but it's all relative to your income at the end of the day. I do spend money on them. It's just not the same. So yeah, learn to communicate effectively, use these questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I apologize for the sound. It obviously wasn't optimal, but I think at the end of the day, the quality of the video and the content speaks for itself. So I hope you guys have an excellent day wherever you are. Apply this stuff, and then let me know how it goes. Leave a comment, leave a like, share this video if you liked it, and all the best, guys.